Hello, this is Alex from ONG Tax and Accounting Services. So in this video, we're going to address one of the questions from a viewer on this specific video. So in this video, we talked about whether a foreign-owned US single-member LLC is required to file Proforma 1120, even if it has no income or expenses. And in the video, I explained that the purpose of the Proforma 1120 and the 5472 is not focused on income or expenses that your LLC made. It rather focused on related party transactions. So we talked about the fact that related party transactions could be contributions that you made to the LLC, distributions that you take out of the LLC, or if the LLC itself made certain transactions on your behalf, like the LLC paying for your vacation expenses or paying for your own personal car and all of that stuff. That is basically a distribution, but it's just because the money did not come to you directly does not mean that it's not distribution, because you use the money in some kind of a personal fashion. The only problem was that you did not distribute the money to your bank account personally before making that transactions. But so if you basically use the LLC monies directly to finance your personal activities, that's a distribution. Okay, so that's some of the descriptions or the discussion we made on this post. But then I'm looking at a comment that was recently sent out by one of our viewers, and I think she said, what happens when a foreign-owned single-member LLC has income and expenses? Well, the same issue, okay? We're still looking at reportable transactions, and we're not looking at income and expenses. And as I have explained several times in several videos that I have, if you, as a foreign person, thinks you have income and expenses, and you think that income is taxable in the US, you don't report it on Proforma 1120 and 5472. Okay, that is not the purpose of this form. So if you have income and expenses and you feel that income is taxable in the US, okay, you report it on 1040 NR. 1040 NR for non-resident, that's where a non-resident reports income and expenses that they think it's taxable in the US. So if you go through the analysis or you make a consultation with a CPA and attorney and determine that the income that you're generating is not taxable in the US, then a 1040 NR is not necessary and you can decide not to file it. Okay, so income and expenses don't go on this form. What goes on this form, on the Proforma 1120, is related party transactions or reportable transactions. Okay, now let's go on to the second question. It says that I'm confused because when the entity is not active, the report is in the Proforma 1120 5472. Now, this is a wrong statement, okay? The entity does not have to be active or inactive for you to have reportable transaction. As long as you have related party transactions, you have to file Proforma 1120. It does not matter whether the entity is active or is inactive, okay? And then it also goes on to say, but in its second year, when there are profits, where it is reported, otherwise it has not chosen to be taxed as 1120, or is it mandatory that it chose to be taxed as 1120? Now, I'm not sure what this is about. I'm not sure what this whole statement is. But like I said, Proforma 1120 and 5472 is not based on your profit. It's not based on your income. It's not based on your expenses. It is based on reportable transactions. And in my YouTube videos, I have explained on many of them what a reportable transactions are. So as you can see from your screen, I have about different type of videos. I have about 4 videos that basically drills down on what reportable transaction is. Again, if you have profit and you think that profit is taxable in the US, it does not go on Proforma 1120 and 5472. It goes on your 1040 NR, okay? Now, for the purpose of filing this form, Proforma 1120 and 5472, your LLC is treated as a corporation but only for the purpose of filing this information return. For all other purposes, your LLC is a disregarded entity. Okay, so you don't need to have your LLC elected as a corporation to be able to file Proforma 1120. The code basically says that as long as your LLC is owned by a foreign person and that foreign person is a single member of the US LLC, automatically it's a corporation for the purpose of filing Form 5472. Okay, now you don't have to do any election. You don't have to choose to be taxed as 1120 unless you have an intent to have the corporation, to have your LLC subject to corporate taxes, which is 21%. And then when after the 21%, when you take money out, the rest of the money that you take out is taxed as dividend and not distribution or draw, and you get to pay dividend taxes on it. But if your LLC has not elected to be a corporation, it is still regarded as a flow-through entity, or it's a disregarded entity. However, for the specific purpose, or only the purpose of filing this Proforma 1120 and 5472, the code automatically recognize your LLC as a corporation, but only for this purpose, for the Proforma 1120 and 5472, and not for any other purposes. Okay, so it is not for the purpose of filing a full-blown corporate return to pay corporate taxes. That is not what this is all about. This is about information returns to file reportable and related party transaction, and that's all it is. Okay, so I hope this answers your question in the YouTube comment, and if you have any questions, please go to my website, book a paid appointment or schedule appointment, and I'll be there to talk to you. Bye for now.